I'm going to show you how I started creating the life I wanted. So most of my life, when I was younger at school, I kind of had this belief that I hated people, which obviously didn't really help much. And so I was kind of reserved and didn't fit in at school, and I wasn't really trying that much to fit in anyway. But most of my life growing up, life was just happening to me. I wasn't really participating in it. And that was until I kind of wrote down what I really wanted in my life, and I created this list and I read it every single day. And so really changed my mindset around life and realizing that I have to create the life I want, otherwise life's just going to happen to me, because most people just live their lives and life just happens to them. They get a job and they stay there until they get fired from their job, or they're not enjoying the job so much that they have to go find another job. And most people are just living their life, hoping things will happen, but not really participating in life and figuring out, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to actually go out and get the thing that I want. And so the only reason that I actually changed my mindset was reading a lot of philosophy, and specific like ancient philosophy. So books like Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, where you really start to understand that you can control your thoughts and you can reason with yourself to create new thoughts. And so the best quote that I've heard is, I think Confucius or someone like that, when he says, a man has two lives and the second begins when he realizes he has one. And so most of my life I was just participating in life, letting it happen to me. It wasn't until I realized that I only have one life and I've got to actually create the life I want did my second life begin. So if your life's not going the way you want it to go, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to get out of that. And it really comes from this guy, Sam Ovens. He watched the videos where he's explaining this, and it's called The Alchemy of Self, where you write down the vision in detail, exactly what you want, and then you create a plan and some actions you're going to actually take to actually go out and create the life you want. It's not going to happen for you. No one else is going to do it for you as well. You've got to do it yourself, but you've got to figure out what to do and then do it. And so it's broken down into 3 sections. You've got to figure out what you want in terms of your health, what you want in terms of your wealth and your finances, and what you want in terms of relationships. And so what you've got to do is get out a pen and paper or just a document on your laptop, and you write down health, and then you write the question, what does being physically and mentally healthy look like to me? What does that person do? Are they going running? Are they going to the gym every day? Are they eating a really healthy diet? Are they drinking unfiltered water? Are they going to sleep 9 hours a day? You've got to write specific details of what does someone that's healthy look like to you, because everyone's health is going to be different, and what we kind of expect from ourselves is going to be different. So for me, I want to be someone that's got, tracks their sleep and improves their sleep, and they've got a high sleep efficiency score. I want to be someone that has got a really optimized, healthy, whole food diet, someone that goes to the gym every single day and tries to hit PRs in every workout, and someone that meditates every morning and has a clear mind and goes about their day with purpose. I think that's kind of a healthy person to me. So try and figure out what is actually healthy to you. What's kind of the upper bar that you want to try and achieve? Is it a certain weight? Is it a certain body fat percentage? Is it a certain muscle size or anything like that? Just figure out what it is for yourself. Writing everything down, your sleep, your exercise, your diet, your testosterone, your mental health as well, anything related to your health. What does perfect look like to you? Once you've figured out everything you want in terms of your health, the next stage is go to your wealth. Write wealth down on the paper. Then figure out, if you had $100 million, what would you spend the money on? So if at the moment you're currently not really sure what you want, and it's really mostly because you're limited by your beliefs about money. So the best question to kind of change your beliefs about money is figuring out, if you had lots of it, what would you do with it? So where would you live? What cars would you have? What would you be doing for work? What would your investments look like? How much are you investing? How much are you saving? How much are you spending every week? You've got to figure out every detail. If you had all this money, what would you do? And then you'll start to realize that you don't really need that much money anyway. But you've got to figure that out first by writing exactly what you would want in terms of your wealth. What are you doing for work? What skills do you have? What's your network look like? What habits are you doing to maintain your wealth as well? Figure everything out in terms of your wealth by asking yourself, if you had $100 million, what would your life look like? And once you've figured out what you would want in terms of wealth and your health, next go to relationships. Write relationships on the paper, and then just figure out what your 5 main top values. Do you value family? Do you value your personal time? Do you value trust? Figure out what you actually truly value. Write 5 things down and try and figure out which people that you know actually have those values. They don't say they have got them, but they actually show you that they've got them, and try and match those values with what you want, and someone that else has those values, and try and spend more time with that person to build relationships with those people. So figure out your values and who has those values, and also try and figure out, like, if you had access to every person in the world, who would you want to like be your friend or be in your relationships with? That's kind of a good way to look at what types of relationships you will want to build. Because you don't want to just build it off status. You kind of want to also build relationships off values, and are you really going to want to spend time with that person? Because you might think this person, oh, they're famous, they've got this status, I want to be friends with them, but the reality is they might not have the values you have, and so spending time with them, you'll just be bored and you wouldn't want to actually be friends with them anyway. So try and figure out your values, and if you had access to anyone, who would you want to be in relationships with? And a good one also for relationships I started figuring out is, what activities would I want to be doing? Like, what social activities do I want to be, running a sports club, or have a charity, or do you want to be part of a dance club or a fight club or something like that, where you're just also around people with similar interests as yourself, so joining a social club as well. So once you've figured out what you actually want, and you've written down your health, wealth and relationship kind of ideals and perfect things that you would like out of your dream life, then you've actually got to create a plan to actually get the things you want. So the first marathon is actually kind of defining what you actually want from your life and what does your dream life look like. And the second marathon is actually getting the things you want. And that's going to create a lot of resistance in your mind. You wouldn't value those things if they were easy to get. The reason you want them in your dream life is because they're hard to get, and because you're hard to get, you value it. So you've actually got to overcome these resistance and these negative beliefs about you deserving that thing, or you being able to get the thing to actually get it. And so if you don't know how to actually get that thing that you want on the list, just Google it. That's pretty much the easiest way to do it. But the reality is, you know what you need to do to get it, you just haven't done it yet because there's too much internal resistance. The thing I've been doing is that you don't always know what to do with the list, so I read it every single day. Just read it out morning and night before you go to bed, and when you wake up, just read the list. Because in Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill talks about affirmations and really controlling your thoughts and brainwashing yourself basically to focus your intention on what you want. And so if you're reading this every single day, multiple times a day, you're kind of narrowing and focusing your attention on what you want, and it's going to end up coming into reality. Whether it takes 1 day or 5, 10 years, it's going to happen if you're thinking about it every single day, multiple times a day. And then so once you've got the list, you're reading it out every single day, and you've created that action list. I've actually created a Notion document where I track each task that I've completed. And so at the moment, I'm about 28% the way there towards my dream life. And I wouldn't know that if I wasn't tracking how many tasks I'd completed. So that's why it's important to actually write down what you want, and then write down all the tasks you want, because then you kind of know how far away you are from it. If I didn't know I was 28% complete towards my dream life, I probably would have lost the motivation a while ago. But the fact I've got like this progress bar showing me how far I've gone and how far I've still got to go motivates me every single day to just face that resistance, because I know if I get 1% closer every single day, eventually I'm going to get towards my dream life. But I made a video showing you how to actually do this on a Notion document to create your dream life, and then list out all the tasks and then track your progress towards creating your dream life, so you can see a progress bar on Notion showing you how far you've got. So I'm going to leave a link to that video in the description where you can watch that. But finish this video first. So every day, because I put the whole list of everything I need to do to actually go out and create my dream life, every day I just turn up and I just try and complete one task, even if that task is only, 0.25% towards getting closer to my dream life. That's closer than it was the day before, and I don't expect to see my dream life to just appear out of nowhere one day. It's going to happen over slowly, doing small tasks, compounding over months and years until eventually I'm living my dream life. But you just got to be consistent. Having that progress bar actually helps me stay consistent. Now, if you still haven't figured out what you want, write down what you don't want and then write the opposite. So I didn't want to have the car that I've got, and so I write down the opposite of what my current car is, and it's got bright red car that it's got crappy interior. I haven't got a GPS, so I write down the opposite. I'm going to have a nice car with a nice interior with a good GPS system. Just write down the opposite of what you currently have is a good way to figure out what you want. And the good thing about actually having something to work for is when you're older, you can tell those stories about when I was younger, I struggled. I wore the $5 t-shirts from Target every single day. And now look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing these tailored suits and tailored shirts. But that's not going to happen if I don't create the reality I want. So this is like pretty powerful to actually figure out what you want and then create it. And then you've got some sort of evidence to prove that you can create the life you want. And you've got the stories from back in the day, I used to wear this, and I used to live here, and I used to drive this car, and I used to have this. The struggle you've got at the moment is the story you're going to tell one day. But you're not going to be able to tell that. No one's going to listen to your story if you just got no results and nothing to show for it. And the only way to create the result is figure out what you want first and then create the actions to get that result. Otherwise, your life's just going to be happening to you, and you're just going to look back 5 years and realize you haven't done anything because you don't have any results. You don't have any results because you didn't plan to get those results. So by now, you should have figured out exactly what you want, or at least figured out what you don't want, and reversed it to create the list of the things you want. You should be creating an action plan of everything you need to do to get there, and I'm going to show you in the next video how to actually track your progress and create a progress bar so you can see how far you are from your dream life. Now, the only affirmation you're ever going to need in life is 2 words: do it. You don't need to tell yourself, I'm confident, happy, I'm excited, I'm this type of person. Just tell yourself, do it, do it, do it, do it. Otherwise, someone else is going to create the life they want, and you're going to be part of their creation. You're not going to be creating your own life and your own destiny if you don't do this. You're going to be part of someone else's plan, and you don't want to be part of someone else's plan when you're 80, 90 years old and you're looking back at your life and you didn't create the life that you wanted. No one else is going to do it for you. Do it yourself. Do it right now. Do it, do it, do it. See you in the next video where I'm going to show you how to create that Notion template to track your progress.